Vinny Show here, the Tuesday edition. It is October 9, 2018. Figure4online.com/WrestlingObserver.com. Yes, the day before Vinny's birthday. Thought I forgot, didn't you, Vinny?
I actually forgot.
I'll never forget. 10-10 was that TNA pay-per-view. It was so horrible.
Like all TNA pay-per-views.
Yeah, tilt your mic up. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Yeah. So yeah, for your birthday is being chastised for the...
That was constructive criticism.
It was, actually.
Same thing you got
I'm just trying to think how many years
blunt.
It would have been.
Could have been delivered more gently, but...
Yeah, 15, 10, 13. 13 years.
Since...
I've been telling you to tilt that mic up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next time it'll be 13 years in 1 week.
Now we got a...
This is not my fault.
Monitor in here. Hi.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's like a hall monitor.
Bring the hall monitor to me. I'll look at it.
This music is so perfect.
Yeah, we can't have it on is the problem.
I got all of it.
Thank you.
What's the point?
You got all of it? All right.
Hey, wait.
Sorry.
No. Come back anytime. Stay in chat, actually.
Is this on?
I don't talk about these shows.
No, it's not.
What are we doing? Are you babysitting?
I guess we're doing this show.
All right.
All right, Vinny, let's go.
Monday Night Raw, number 333, October 11th, 1999, the day after my birthday. How about that? Up with a Gorilla Monsoon memorial video. He passed away this week at the age of...
Let's leave it on during the
I'm
show.
noting a man's passing.
Oh, actually, I wasn't even listening to you.
The finest man Vince McMahon ever knew.
That is what he said. We just got to make sure that there's no problems, Vinny. I don't have this playing on the show. Go ahead.
So my takeaway from this, besides how sad it was, is Gorilla was only...
This is sad. He did pass away.
Gorilla was only 62 when he died.
I know.
He looked 62 forever.
Yeah, he sure did.
So they're in the Georgia Dome, enemy turf, they're winning the war, and Vince McMahon comes out and just gloats. He strutted down to the ring. Oh, he did. And he brings out Austin, and he leaves. He was just out there to have a good time. Austin rants about Hunter. Hunter comes out. They tease a fight, but Hunter goes after JR instead. JR fights back, hits him with fans. And I don't mean, unfortunately, the WWE Universe. I mean an actual plastic fan. So there's this big brawl. Austin makes the save. He punches out China. And Hunter challenges himself in China versus Austin and Ross tonight, and Austin accepts.
Did I mention that Hunter used the term a retard here in his promo?
He did.
Yeah. Do you know that Russo is gone?
Right.
This was a live show, so we cannot blame this on Vince Russo. This was somebody else that came up with this absolutely horrific television show.
It was horrible.
Steve Austin also punched out China.
He punched her in the face and knocked her out.
Yeah. That was okay, I guess.
That is not okay. But they did it. Because it's 1999.
There were dogs backstage. Mankind is... Yes, Greg?
Whose dogs were these?
Rock would later explain they were the University of Georgia's mascots. He may have been bullshitting.
I'm guessing that might be the case.
You're telling me that they have actual dog mascots?
Yeah, the Bulldogs.
Georgia Bulldogs. They
They
might.
have like real dogs?
Yeah.
Rob, you gotta signal me here. Your mic is on.
I'm sorry. I'm to avoid the.
Rob's had a horrible last couple of days.
Yeah, I have, and I'm trying to avoid the.
And look, there's a Rob cam
There
now.
is a Rob camera.
He's.
How you doing?
Don't look at the camera, Sean.
Hi.
Tell us what you gotta say.
Yeah. There's the University of Georgia's mascot is a live bulldog, and its name is Ugga. And they've had Ugga 1, Ugga 2. I don't know what number they're at
That's
now.
one dog.
Well, yeah, Ugga
Yeah.
1, Ugga 2.
Nice.
That one dies, and it's Ugga 3.
Yes,
It's
it's
But
like,
there were multiple
like
dogs
King Henry the First, King Henry the Second.
in this.
Yeah.
But there were multiple dogs in this.
So these dogs were not Ugga.
Okay.
They were just like stray bulldogs.
So it was bullshit.
Yes.
All right.
Well, that comes
Check.
later.
Yeah.
Does this surprise you at all?
No.
So Mankind's waiting for The Rock. He and Fox is on both shows, I just realized. Tag teams that hate each other. My fucking most hated thing in wrestling. So he wants to fight with The Rock or whatever. Mr. Ass versus Crash Holly.
Yeah, they took the biggest guy in the team versus the smallest guy in the other team.
Yeah. So here's what happened. First, Road Dogg sends prayers to draws. Jim Ross says absolutely. That is the only mention on the show.
Yeah.
So if you didn't...
Yeah, D'Lo's on later and like there was nothing. And so I actually thought, is this also a taped show? Like they taped 2 last week? But no, this was live, and that was all they said about Draws, who at this point was paralyzed from the waist down, and it wasn't looking good.
Yeah. So it's Mr. Ass versus Crash Holly. I wrote, was it tag match?
No.
Singles match, dude.
I wrote Road Dogg
The
wins
biggest
the
guy
Master in less than a minute.
Versus the smallest
So
guy.
it was a fuck finish, and then the hardcore beats of the Outlaws with the scale, and one of the announcers says the Outlaws are in big trouble. They just wanted a minute, dude. They're not in trouble. They had these guys. Fuck you.
This was a bad segment on a bad show.
Mankind says maybe part of him wanted to hit Rock with a chair on SmackDown, maybe it wasn't an accident. He needs Rock to commit tonight. Elsewhere, the dogs are pooping. Ivory versus Mae Young. Ivory talks about being attacked by old women and having nightmares. The whole match is Ivory doing belt shots until Moolah saves. I wrote here, utterly unwatchable.
Did you even talk about what the match was?
I said it was Ivory versus Mae Young.
All right, Ivory versus Mae Young. Yeah.
That is all the detail I gave, to be fair.
Yeah. You know, Mae hit the ring. She was moving.
She was.
She was running and jumping, and it suddenly hit me that maybe she's been pretending to be immobile, but actually she's not immobile. Or maybe was just feeling it there that evening. I don't know.
Maybe she's Yoda.
She was moving a lot better than Moolah, is what I'm trying to say.
That's true.
A couple of weeks ago, she was moving a lot worse than Moolah. Bad did not begin to describe that segment, by the way.
No. Hey, the next bad segment, and I think an unending stream of bad segments on this television show. Mankind is still waiting, so the announcers say, hey, let's call The Rock.
This was amazing.
Call The Rock on his cellular phone.
Jim Ross says, we're going to call him, and you hear the phone ring. You hear the phone ring. Rock picks up. You hear the phone ring.
Yes.
Then some dipshit turns the ringer off, and Rock proceeds to do his promo. From a limousine.
Oops.
Yeah.
I wrote here, Rock promises to turn Georgia Dome upside down. This show sucks. Terry Taylor interviews the Bulldog. I don't know what he said because the announcers were talking right over his question.
Well, he was painfully bad, I can tell you that much. I cannot believe how bad Terry Taylor is at asking questions. He's so bad at it. He is as bad or worse than the worst WWE question askers today. And he was in the business.
Yeah, for a
He had
long
to
time.
do promos.
He was successful.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing how bad he is.
Bulldog denied knowledge of the other Bulldogs, said Sunday he will destroy The Rock. Michael Hayes interviews Stephanie and Shane. Oh boy. Steph has post-concussion syndrome, headaches, and memory loss.
Yeah, well, outside of the headache, she says, I feel okay. Then she reveals how she doesn't feel okay. She has no short-term memory. She has no short-term memory to the point where she says, I know that today is supposed to be our wedding night. They're going to get married on Monday.
How convenient.
Head-to-head with Raw.
Well, probably on Raw, to be fair, but...
Anyway, she says, I cannot remember any of the feelings that I have for Andrew. So you remember him. You remember that you're supposed to get married tonight. You don't remember any feelings. This dumb storyline.
But then she weeps for the feelings she does not remember.
Yes, he's inconsolable.
Like, did they put this out on paper before they acted this out?
Well, yeah.
They realized how bad what dumb it was.
Well, Stephanie had to act. I don't know what exactly you were expecting.
With short-term memory loss, I've never had it. But do you just not remember things that happened just a few minutes ago, or you cannot remember anything from the past? Does that make sense?
So Michael Hayes interviews Stephanie and Shane.
Short-term, Craig, is short-term.
Understood.
If you can't remember anything from the past, that's long-term.
Okay, so
She has short-term memory loss.
her and Andrew got engaged months ago.
Yes.
Okay.
That qualifies, I don't know. I don't care.
Hey, Shane said everyone knows whose fault it is. But they didn't say who. Whose fault is it?
Well, it's Bulldog's fault.
Is it the Bulldog's fault? Is that who he's talking about? Or he's talking about Andrew?
We're talking about Vince for putting her
Talking
in
about
harm's
Vince?
way.
He's talking about himself? He was back there freaking out too, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Val Venus and the Bulldog attack Mankind. I guess they're a team now. A limo arrives. They say it's The Rock. It's not The Rock. It's Mark Henry and a young woman. let's see. Edge and Christian versus the New Brood in the Terry Invitational.
A tit challenge.
Yeah.
It's a tit challenge match here.
Yeah.
What number was this?
4.
4. They're having a best of 5
Correct.
in this tit.
So Edge and Christian are up 2-1. They did a bunch of stuff. Matt tried to pin with his feet on the top rope. Edge just kicked out. Senton is not the finish. Kill switch is not the finish.
These referees, dude, Matt is trying to get the pin, and he has his feet on the ropes.
The top rope.
Referee does not see it. He's fucking practically doing a handstand. The referee doesn't see it. Then, moments later, he's getting covered, and he puts his foot on the ropes. Of course, the ref sees it. Do you realize how ridiculous this is?
I don't know.
I know you're trying to get through the show as quickly as possible, Vinny, but these are very important questions here. How does a ref not see your feet on the ropes, and then 2 seconds later, all he can see is your feet on the ropes? Is there nobody... Fuck it. Why am I asking you?
Did we talk about the finish yet?
This is bad writing.
They both did
Bad
dives.
psychology.
They all did dives. Both teams got counted out.
Yes.
So I guess now it's 2-1-1 in the best of 5.
This one clearly doesn't count.
Well,
It's now best of 6, but 1 doesn't count.
I'm guessing they have another match on SmackDown, and then they have the ladder match on No Mercy.
so the best of 5 will end tied,
Sure.
and then the ladder match will be the 6th match.
Correct.
All right. So they cut backstage, where you're in the middle of a lover's quarrel, which begins with Sean Waltman saying, "Oh, damn it, Kane!"
This is the beginning of X-Pac heat. I'm already getting irritated with this guy. He is out here, and he says, Kane, I'm going to have a singles match tonight. Do not come down to the ring no matter what. Now, first off, last week they had a tag match, but he would not tag in his partner. This week he's got a singles match. He doesn't want his partner anywhere near the ring. Why is he in a tag team?
That's a great question.
Why did he bring back Kane if he doesn't want to tag him or have matches with him? Or want him anywhere near him?
Because
Why?
he wants to prove that he can fight with the big boy.
Then be a single star!
Understood.
Why'd he bring this guy back?
Because every tag team must be fighting.
Jesus
Every tag team
Christ.
must be people who hate each other.
And boy, does he look like an idiot later.
Limo arrives. It's The Rock. So Kevin Kelly goes to interview him.
Listen, I love The Rock, okay? I'm watching this segment, and Rock starts cutting this promo. And he goes on and on and on. And I'm like, I gotta get going here. I'm getting ready to fast forward. Finally, he starts to wrap it up. I'm like, it's over. Thank God we can go to the next dumb segment. As soon as he stops talking, Mankind shows up.
Yep.
I'm like, what? So Foley shows up. He starts talking to The Rock. Rock starts talking to him. Rock tells him to take his bullshit, turn it sideways. I'm thinking it's about over now. Rock's blowing this guy off. Vince shows up.
Yes.
I'm like, I've been watching this promo for an hour. What the fuck is it? And you know what the fucking point of it was at the end? Vince shows up in a fucking panic. Like WCW's invaded. And in a panic tone, he alerts us. Rock and Mankind, you must face Val Venus and the British Bulldog tonight. Why?
I don't know.
Why was this a fucking emergency? Why did I have to watch this segment for 30 minutes? For that announcement by Vince McMahon.
X-Pac versus Farouk. First, I must correct myself. There was one other mention of Darren Drozdov. He said there's a message from Darren and his family on WWF.com. So they still not told the fans what happened to Darren Drozdov.
So in order to find out what happened,
yes,
we must go to their website.
they're exploiting a tragedy to promote their website.
I've never heard of anything like that.
It's amazing. Kane's watching a monitor backstage back in the days when guys just watched TV.
Well, they actually looked in the mirror
It's the
like
most normal
normal
thing
humans.
Kane ever did, is watch this TV.
Yes.
So Bradshaw interferes blatantly, frequently, over and over. It's obviously 2-on-1. And then Farouk bonks into him, and X-Pac gets the X Factor for the win. So the match is over.
It's over.
X-Pac has won.
X-Pac won by himself in a match that Kane did not interfere
He
in.
beat two Giants.
Yes, he did.
Now the Giants are mad. They're beating him up.
Double team, 2-on-1.
After the match,
Threatening his career here, potentially.
there's an enormous fireball. Kane comes out.
Before that, Vinny, X-Pac told him not to come down no matter what. Am I wrong?
You are correct.
All right. So as soon as these guys are double teaming him and killing him, even the fucking fans are chanting for Kane to come down to the ring.
Yeah.
Even they know that X-Pac is a dumb man. X-Pac does not want the man to come out. And you're right, a fireball hits. And out on the ramp comes Kane, but he stops on the ramp.
Yeah.
He begins to pace back and forth. He will not head down because his friend told him, no matter what, do not come down to this ring.
He gave his word.
He gave his word.
Silently.
The acolytes take X-Pac up onto the middle rope. They're about to kill the guy.
Yes.
He's helpless.
They've already powerbombed him to death.
He's a dead body that they're going to finish burying. And finally, Kane runs down to make the save. He clears the ring, and what is the first thing this ungrateful shithead does? X-Pac starts screaming at the guy. How dare you come down here, Kane? I told you! What a dumb, shit, ungrateful douchebag babyface. This is where X-Pac heat started. Has to be.
My notes here read, X-Pac, who is an asshole, is mad at Kane. So at this point, Jim Ross had to leave to prepare for his match, which is horrible news. Because, of course, his replacement is Michael Cole.
Oh, Michael Cole. He's bad at his job.
We then see, quote, Mark Henry's second sex therapy session.
I guess we missed the first one on SmackDown.
So a horrible actress says,
She was a very super hot actress who was not horrible.
she was pretty.
She was
Very attractive.
She was fine. Did you watch Terry Taylor? Did you watch Stephanie McMahon? I mean, on the scale of actresses on the show, she was in the upper echelon.
There may have been worse actors on the show, that's true. She says, I've been studying your case, and you're really screwed up. That was a ding on my computer. I hit the mute.
I see.
My bad. She says she wants...
You hit mute and it made a noise?
Well, after it made a ding, and then I hit mute.
I see, okay.
I'm getting baseball updates as if I cared.
Yeah, you can stop those.
I'm getting them from friends.
Oh. Yeah, you can stop those.
So the therapist says, I've been studying your case and you're really screwed up. That is a quote. She wants intense overstimulation techniques to tame that wild sexual beast within you. I think, Brian, in hindsight, it's not that she was a horrible actress.
They might have given her bad dialogue.
I think it was more the material.
You're telling me that they can write dialogue that even a bad actor or a good actor can't read?
I think that's true.
Wow, that's just astonishing. She's crazy. She says it's going to start tonight. He pulls out handcuffs. Mark, be serious. She keeps saying, Mark, be serious. He's not taking this seriously. In the slightest. To him, this is a joke and she's hot. And he's hoping that the overstimulation will involve her.
Thank you for painting that picture, Brian.
Now I stand.
Thank you. Sometimes, Vinny, I think you don't explain it to the people. Those are very
I
important
probably don't.
details. Yeah.
Chris Jericho and Curtis Hughes versus the goddamn Headbangers.
Can you believe they're back?
Jesus Christ.
So you had the Headbangers. I guess first they were nuns.
Sure. I've forgotten the whole...
They were Headbangers. And then they split up. And then one guy became Beaver Cleavage. And he was fucking his mom.
Pretending to fuck his mom.
Oh, we don't know that.
No, they came out later.
Okay. And then after that, I mean, they could have, in addition to that being a gimmick.
They were the same age, dude.
Brian, please.
Well, we know it's not his mom, but they could still have been fucking.
That's true.
Okay, shut up, Vinny. And then he became whatever his real name
It's
is.
my fault.
Yeah, what was his other gimmick? Chaz.
Just a guy from New Jersey.
Yeah, Chaz. Just a guy. That was his gimmick.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy from New Jersey.
Yeah, he wrestled in his underwear.
Oh, where's my wallet? So then, the fucking Headbangers are back. Now, we gotta write this time.
So in his first match in the show, not quite his first line, but very early on his appearance, Michael Cole says, this should be a tremendous tag team match on Raw. Liar!
Well, it was a match on Raw, and it was a tag team match.
Sure. Then Michael Cole says, you know, King, JR is not a sports entertainer. Do you know Michael Cole's been ruining television shows for 2 decades now?
Yes, 19 years he's been
Jesus
doing this shit.
Christ. So So Jericho gets a hot tag.
Do you remember last week when Jericho and Mr. Hughes like broke up?
I honestly don't remember.
I remember last week I was like, this has to be their breakup. We got to never see this guy again. And now they're together again.
But then they break up again.
And they break up again.
I hate this.
Yeah, they've been doing this for 19
So
fucking
there's
years.
3 teams on this show, and at least one team on Nitro they hate each other.
Yes.
So Jericho leaves. The Headbangers hit. They never get their finish right. This may have been the shittiest stage dive ever, and they won. This show.
You know, like an idiot, I wrote, I presume this has to be the end of Hughes. But I think I wrote those exact same words last week on the show, and it was not the end of Hughes.
You know, Curtis Hughes is a big man. They have to powerbomb him, plus do a leg drop. Why didn't they call an audible on this? That was so dumb.
Well, they're terrible wrestlers who are not
Call
good.
audible for what? Do less?
No,
Yes.
it was a different finish.
They gotta get him over. They gotta get their moves over. That's
Brian.
stage dive.
Oh, sweet innocent Brian.
That was what? There's another reason they did it. They want to get their moves over.
Anyway, D'Lo Brown is on the show. He consoles the Big Show, who says his dad has terminal cancer. D'Lo tells him to call whenever. The Rock instructs Mankind to pick up the dog poop. We have Godfather versus Mark Henry.
Hey, did you know, and if you listen to the show, you should know, I did intense investigation into this matter.
That's right.
And determined that each hoe was paid $500 a shot.
Correct.
And transportation and lodging.
I did some math.
So this goddamn entrance here cost like $20,000.
That's right. You are correct, sir.
Yeah.
Can you fucking imagine?
This was, as Lillian explained, I'm not making this up, everybody, a hoe-jack match.
Yeah,
Not a lumberjack match. A hoe-jack match.
a Hojack match. Godfather and Mark Henry Hojack.
So during the entrances, Godfather comes out with like 2 dozen women or whatever, and then Mark Henry comes out and beside himself. So what's about to happen is the Red Rooster is about to interview the sex therapist. But when Michael Cole, professional announcer, he gets paid to do this. He tells us, the viewers at home, Taylor Tyler is standing by with Mark Henry, sex therapist. I said, what? And I rewound, and I laughed, and I rewound, and I laughed, and I rewound. Taylor Tyler.
Kind of close.
So her name is Dr. Andrea Early. She says that if Mark could focus on work tonight, it'll be his first step on the road to recovery.
Everyone's trying to figure out what that means, and no one can. Somebody on the board help us. Andrea Early. What's the joke? Andrea Early.
So the Godfather went to the schoolboy.
Handy.
Dr. Andrea Early is unhappy.
Handy. Curlies.
What? Hunter says Austin
Vinny
won't
got
have
it.
any fun tonight. Mocks Jim Ross. Big Show versus the Big Boss Man. Boss Man first announces he does not care about Show's problems. Get your fat ass out here and deal with me. That's Ray Traylor saying this. It goes a minute. There's a nice tick attack for the DQ. Al Snow makes the save and probably fucks up a backdrop. Imagine needing to be saved by Al Snow.
You know where this is going.
Yes.
Oh, of course we do. But it already happened?
No, not yet.
Oh, wait, the Kennel from Hell match already happened, didn't it? Oh, that's this
Yes.
Sunday.
No, Kettle from Hell already happened, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like
The surfing on the casket's coming.
Yeah.
Big Show's dead father, Andre the Giant.
Yeah. Mankind is still picking up poop. Triple H and China versus Steve Austin and Jim Ross. So you've got 2 really good wrestlers, a really bad wrestler, and a fat old man who can't wrestle. The 2 really good wrestlers roll into the crowd and disappear.
Yeah.
I'm not making that up. So it's just China pummeling him. She hits a pedigree. Somehow it was not the worst wrestling move of all time. And then Jerry hit her with a toaster.
Toaster.
Yeah.
Having a good housekeeping match.
Yeah.
So he couldn't hit her with a guitar, he had to hit her with a toaster.
well, it's a kitchen appliance.
You gotta think about promoting the match when you got a weapon to waffle her with.
Throws her in a laundry bin, carts her out, and Austin and Hunter return, and then Austin's music plays.
Yeah. This is a bad show.
In a 5
I cannot wait for you to do your finishes report. I am so excited.
There were no finishes on the show.
There may not have been any.
Oh my God.
That would be awesome. The finishes on this show were none. So, in 5 seconds, Jarrett shoves the laundry bin off a ledge. We go to break.
Not even 5 seconds. They like, get the music ready now. It wasn't he threw it off the edge in 5 seconds. He threw it off the edge and they immediately went to the back.
Yes. Well, they were in the back. They went to break.
They went to the front.
When they come back from break, they've gotten China out of this laundry bin where she has been attacked by Michael Myers. This is blood everywhere.
Yeah, because you know she fell 3 feet in a hamper.
Apparently on her head.
Surrounded by clothes. That was on her into a chainsaw. British Bulldog and Val Venus versus Rock and Sock Connection.
Dude, what are they doing with the British Bulldog?
I can only assume they were mad at him for leaving, Brett, and they wanted to humiliate him.
When he came back, he's getting a big match with The Rock on Sunday, so that's not much of a humiliation.
They're paying him, and they're using him poorly to humiliate him? I don't understand.
Okay, where to begin here?
I know where to end, so just hurry up and get to it.
Okay, among Michael Cole's lines here. As mankind is coming down the ramp carrying a tray full of dog poop, Michael Cole says, this should be a good one. Later, Rock and Sock make one tag in 5 minutes. Cole says, functioning well as a unit. The match continues. Michael Cole at random announces, that stuff at ringside stinks. That's that dog do. In case we didn't know what he was referring to by that stuff. Oh, let's see. 5 minutes pass. Rock and Sock make one more tag. Again, functioning well as a unit. Huge brawl. Mankind puts on a sock. It's like, I don't even, Iron Man putting on a suit because Val Venus is scared. Val Venus runs away from the sock.
Oh my God! When Mick Foley, first off, Mick Foley has to chase him up the ramp. Guess who can't run? Right, Mick Foley. Mick Foley just having to chase this man up the ramp, and Val Venus, a grown-ass man, is running away from a guy with a sock on his fucking hand.
That guy with the sock, yeah.
It's not even like Mick Foley has him on the mat and he's trying to put the sock in his mouth like Meng's finish, and Val Venus is like blocking his hand. He's running after him, and Val Venus is running away. Oh man, if he catches me, he'll put that in my mouth.
You don't know where that sock's been.
I've got to get away from this guy. Runs away. They do the big spot at the end. Do we need to even talk about it?
Michael Cole screaming with glee, the dog poop, the dog poop, the dog poop.
I'm pretty sure this was the thing that made me turn on him for life. I've never thought Michael Cole was any good. But I mean, after this day, I don't think I ever had anything positive ever to say about him in this job.
Like, this show would have been in -10 anyway.
It's -20 because of this.
Because of Michael Cole.
He's so terrible. And they play Austin's music. And
The finish is, Rock does not want to pin the guy. He says ring the bell, and they do.
yes,
Fuck this show.
this was
Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it.
so bad. And do you know that the finish of that match, Vinny, was to build up a Rock versus Bulldog match for the pay-per-view on Sunday?
Yes.
Okay. I've been watching WWF or E since 1987. It's 2018. Is that 31 years? 31 fucking years I've been watching this company. I cannot think ever of any angle that has killed my interest in seeing a pay-per-view match more than this one. This was supposed to make you want to see them wrestle.
Yeah.
This made me want to never watch this show again.
Or any show.
I just could not believe that this was a go-home angle for a pay-per-view match. Not a blow-off. Not just like something funny to do at the end of a Raw on Christmas night or whatever that no one's watching. This was an end of the show, main event segment to build up a big match on a pay-per-view. This was their go-home angle.
The babyface humiliated the heel and pinned him with his finish.
This show did a 6.1 to Nitro's 2.6.
Oh, there's more.
There's more.
Austin and
Hunter are still brawling backstage.
Dude.
Hunter gets thrown into some building, and he looks over, he starts screaming, and the camera cuts. There's a big, giant, scary rattlesnake inches from Hunter's face, And would have been effective, except that you can see the reflection of the camera in the glass pane between Triple H and this rattlesnake.
This is so dumb.
So I had technical issues with this Raw, trying to get it to start and stop and start and stop. And
I did too, actually.
in hindsight, I am so mad that it eventually worked, and I was able to watch the show. Like, literally the shittiest Raw ever, and that can't be argued.
They had extra attitude on this show, and all that happened was Austin drank beer.
Yes.
That's all that
I
happened.
didn't watch it, but I didn't stop it. I just went on with whatever I was doing.
You know, when I
Drank beer for 10 minutes.
turn it on Apple TV, which by the way I'd never have a problem with, I might add. Turn on Apple TV and down there at the bottom it says 1 hour and 39 minutes. And it's like, it's a 2-hour show, 42 minutes per hour, it's 84 minutes. Why is this 1 hour and 39 fucking minutes? This doesn't make fucking sense. I get so mad that so much of my life is being wasted with this bullshit. The show was absolutely horrible. Minus 10 on the granny scale. Vinny, may I play your music?
Let's get this over with. The finishes on this show were pin with a Faymaster in less than a minute. DQ due to belt shot or elderly interference or something, I don't know. Double DQ in a best of 5 series. Pin despite interference. Pin with a finish that is fucked up every single time after a man walked out on his partner. Pin via cradle in a hoe jack match. DQ in a minute due to nightstick. No finish in a tag match with a woman and an announcer. No finish due to poop.
Man, good timing, dude. Look at that.
I'm a pro.
That's exactly the right amount of time. All right, well, let's do Nitro. It was much better.
It was. There's no doubt about that. It was
But it's the last one before
before things changed. Let's just say that.
there is change.
WCW Nitro number 212, also October 11th, 1999.
I'd be happy to talk about Gorilla Monsoon here. So they did a video on both shows, and then, man, poor Bobby Heenan had to say
my God.
goodbye to his friend
Oh, my
Gorilla
God.
Monsoon. This was so sad. Vince is just doing the voiceover. He was the finest man I've ever known. That didn't do much for me, no. I'm sure he was a fine man.
Bobby, on the other hand,
Bobby
cry.
really made you sad that his friend Gorilla passed away.
When he was speaking, the performer inside of him was able to turn on and perform and be there. And as soon as he was done with his lines and Tony was talking, Bobby just fell apart.
Bobby asked him about the show tonight, and he was like, well, you know, this Brett and Benoit is right back on again.
As long as he's talking, he's fine.
He's a professional.
When Tony's talking, he's quivering, his lips trembling. It's tragic. It is literally tragic to watch.
Well, he's probably remembering all those fun shows he did with the Gorilla Monsoon, and he was sitting here next to Tony about to call Nitro.
That probably didn't help.
He said that they were going to post up Gorilla at the pearly gates, and it would now be known as the Gorilla position.
So Brett and Benoit arrive together. Lex and Liz taunt them.
God, it was so bad.
I cannot even bear it.
Liz was so fake. Why did they ever make her talk?
I don't know. Dean Malenko and Saturn were bickering. They agree they both hate Shane. Saturn's defending himself from Ray. Revolution sucks.
They do, not only do they suck, Vinny, they checked a month or two ago. Right? How long has Revolution been around?
About
a couple
2
months?
About 2 months.
Now they're already breaking up
If
again.
they both hate Shane, why don't they get rid of him?
The whole
Because the reality is they don't both hate Shane. Saturn likes Shane.
I think
Saturn
Saturn
is lying
does.
here.
they all hate each other. They're all lying to each other. It's just such bullshit. By the end here, I actually just think, wishing, man, please just bring back the dysfunctional horseman. Because I realize by this point Pillman was dead. That'd be difficult, but Revolution's worse. Revolution is worse than the dysfunctional horseman. I didn't think that was possible. So Saturn and Ray Jr. are having a match.
Because they had a great match until the lame finish.
The match is awesome. My favorite part, I don't know if favorite's the right word, the most notable part, Saturn's on the floor. And when I say on the floor, he's laying on his back, his feet are pointed towards the ring, his head's pointed up the ramp. So Ray says, I'm going to hit this man with a somersault senton. So Ray comes flying down. Ray's ass lands on Saturn's face. I have no idea how Ray didn't break his tailbone. I have no idea why we couldn't see Saturn's brain. Just brutal.
This was not the most notable thing in this match, Vinny. They do a spot where they both go for a drop kick.
Yes, that was great.
And sometimes you two people try and drop kick each other and their feet hit and they both fall down.
Yeah.
Well, to quote Tony Schiavone, they scissored each other.
That is exactly what happens when he
In quote, the you-know-where,
Yes.
which Bobby said, the groin area. I laughed.
A flying
Very
squirrel
hard.
collision is what happened.
They scissored each other in the you-know-where.
They did.
Yeah.
So Shane runs down. Dean stops him. Kidman hits the ring for the DQ. Saturn is declared the winner. I can't keep track of who's on which team anymore, so I don't know if Kidman was trying to help or whatever. Kidman challenges Shane to a tag match. Dean is with Kidman and Ray, but he leaves with Shane, but he's yelling at Shane, "Fuck this!"
Vinny, it's just a very complex storyline
No!
involving a bunch of individuals who aren't sure about each other right now. This is real.
I fucking hate this so much. I hate this like you hate heel refs.
Oh, get out of here, Vinny. This was fine.
No.
It makes sense at the end of the show. Saturn is a heel, and Douglas is a heel. Malenko is a babyface, but Saturn is trying to convince him. And if you watch the show, last week there was evidence that Saturn was on Douglas's side. Saturn this week just tries to plead his case, but he's lying.
Why?
I don't know.
Fuck you.
Get out of here, Vinny. Fuck off.
If you-
you just watch a goddamn show where a guy got...
That was worse.
It was fucking far worse.
That's far
So
worse.
like this.
No.
Get out of here.
This match was weird.
Just break up if you're gonna break up.
They do on this fucking show. You're getting what you wanted. Calm down. That's what this whole show is about, them breaking up. Right?
Sure.
Yes, thank you.
This match started off with an apology, by the way.
A fake apology,
Yeah.
which Ray was too smart to accept. Thank God. Ray's the
Okay.
only smart one for now. Meng video.
Let me guess. You thought it was dumb.
You know what we need here in 2018 that we can actually do in 2018? Meng versus Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Flair and Arn were impressed with the Meng video, and in hindsight, I have no idea where that went.
Nowhere. Flair and Arn are just watching it, and Flair says he's the real deal. It's product placement for Surge, or whatever that fucking thing was they were going to get.
I see.
Or their Horseman vitamins.
Kaz Hayashi versus Disco Inferno.
Is that what they call them? Vitamins?
They actually did have Horseman vitamins. We saw them in the...
Yeah, they plugged him on the NWA show this
Yeah.
week.
It was a bad
Power
match.
Formula number 1 and something like that.
Power Formula number 2.
Was it Power Formula?
They did not put a lot of work into it.
It was something like that.
So it was not a bad match. It just rambled on forever. Only went 6 minutes, but it felt like 20. Disco won with a chartbuster.
Nobody cared until the end.
Disco's hair does not move. Ever.
Hey,
It's amazing.
you're right. Meng versus Conan.
Okay, before that, I don't play modern video games,
What?
but every year I see the... Yes, Rob?
No.
Oh, you
Itch. Sorry.
an itch. He was scratching it like that.
Go like this.
Okay. Anyway, so every year I see the clips of the modern WWE 2K video games, and it's so good now that you can put them on YouTube, and Granny thinks it's a real man.
Oh, that is true. That's right.
Yeah. This fucking video game was so low rent. WCW Mayhem. It was like Pong.
I wouldn't go that far.
I was playing games. I recall Mayhem was particularly terrible.
It was pretty bad, yeah. Pong bad.
And Pong was good. It's just simple.
So Sid, as you recall, has had car issues in recent weeks.
I'll say.
So Sid smartened up. He did not drive his own rental car to the arena. He didn't get a limo. He didn't get a town car. He took a taxi. Sid took a taxi to the arena. I don't know, made me laugh. So May and Conan are doing this match.
Meng has been on, quote, an extensive tour of the Orient.
Of course. It's all choking and no selling. Conan makes his comeback, and he goes for a sunset flip. I do not have the physical or verbal talents to do justice what happened next. Suffice to say, Meng did the best Tongan death grip of all time and won.
Meng is swinging his hands backwards like this to try to keep his balance. And then suddenly, he starts going like this. Like he's humping something.
he's doing this.
And then he goes like this.
The funky chicken.
And he holds his hand in preparation for the tongue.
Yes.
For a moment. He doesn't go right for it. He does his wacky kata, and then he pulls his hand back, and he gives Conan time to think, and then ha-cha, he puts it on.
It was so awesome.
Conan is pinned.
I watched like 5 times in a row.
Oh yeah, it was the greatest finish. It was the greatest finish of all time. I can't say it was the greatest finish.
Sure.
But as far as the performance put into the finish,
The execution.
I've never seen anyone greater.
It was fantastic.
That made the show.
Berlin on the wall jumped Brad Armstrong. He no-sold this beating from 2 men and wanted more. That sucked. The outsiders arrived in the crowd again.
Fuck. Bobby Heenan tries so hard.
He does.
He's out there, goes to interview them. He says with a straight face, they are the greatest tag team I've ever seen. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I know that's
yes, he
your
is.
job, but like, have a little bit of credibility. Nash says he's still retired. Says his back is sore from bending over backwards carrying this company. They're just here to watch Goldberg. And they ask when they'll be back together again. When is the band gonna be back together? Nash's response, which is so fucking hilarious, is July of 2012. That's a long time ago now.
Yeah, that's true.
And back then, that was the far future.
Did anyone do research and see if the outsiders actually had a match?
I'm sure they did an Impact. They had to have.
I like their consistency. They bring 2 drinks to the chair with them. Every time.
And 2 women waiting for him.
Yeah, that is true. And these 2 women, actually, there was a hot girl in the crowd, and it was not one sitting by Nash or all.
You mentioned when they wished happy birthday to Dusty Rhodes. No, we did now. Goldberg is doing his entrance. Sid confronts him. They jibber-jabber a bit. And 41 minutes and 30 seconds into the show, Sid does the best cackle of all time. I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. How did Sid win worst on promos?
Fuck if I know. You're lucky I'm distracted because I would have put him in the Hall of Awesome, but now I've lost my mojo. Trying to figure out this 2012, 2013. Kevin Nash, you know what Kevin Nash was in 2012?
Of course I don't.
Golf course.
I'll give you all. I'll give each of you one guess, including Rob, because he's jumping at the bit here because he probably looked it up on the internet while we were doing this. Vinny, your guess?
Recovering from leg surgery.
No.
Was he in WWE at the time?
What's your answer? You don't ask the question.
WWE.
Rob.
Well, Vinny kind of took mine, but I was going to say recovering from quad surgery.
No, in fact, he was in NXT.
Really?
Excuse me.
Yes.
He was just developing.
He was in NXT.
Scout
He was the
talent?
guest match commissioner, and
What does that mean?
did some other stuff as well.
He was scouting talent.
Yes.
Well, you know, you got to work. I mean, got to learn how to work.
Yeah, main
Face the
event
camera,
style.
so yeah. Goldberg versus Horace.
Nash helped DX take down Damian Sandow. It was a very, very...
I think I actually do remember that now.
Yeah.
What they did, like play it on Raw and stuff. Yeah. So when Goldberg comes out to wrestle Horace, I was like, why are they wasting my time with this? Then I remembered, it's Goldberg. It's never a waste of time.
Furthermore, why does Goldberg need a police escort?
He doesn't, Craig. That's his gimmick to make him unique.
It's not to protect him from the fans
Okay.
or anyone else. It's to protect other people from Goldberg.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
So, for the first half of this, it's Goldberg versus a heavy bag. Horace is just a large piece of meat in there for Goldberg to punch and kick and throw. It was beautiful. Horace did get some offense. Goldberg, to be fair, I am not a jiu-jitsu black belt like other people in this room, but I'm pretty sure Goldberg's armbar sucked.
Yes.
Yeah. Goldberg hit a spear.
Don't tell him I said that.
A spear. No, don't worry. He speared a jackhammer and he won. The spear and the jackhammer were great.
What was also great is he gorilla press slammed these huge, huge man with ease.
Held him around for a while. Yeah, Goldberg's awesome.
What's everyone think about Sid going to the Hall of Awesome?
I'm okay with it.
We got 3 people here, so...
Can we do just Sid's promos?
Nah, it's either he's in or he's out. We don't have to put him in. I mean, there's more Sid coming.
There's more Sid coming.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to abstain from now.
All right. I'll wait. He was pretty goddamn awesome on the show, taunting Goldberg, though.
Last 2 weeks, he has entertained me.
3 weeks now.
3 weeks
Yeah,
of 3
yeah.
weeks of intense entertainment.
Yeah.
Entertained.
And we'll get to his matches later.
I wasn't wowed or blown away, but I was entertained.
Oh, I was wowed. I was blown away. Gene's interviewing Hulk Hogan. Asks him about internet rhetoric. Hulk doesn't want to talk about it. Runs down Sting. Now to kick his ass. His music plays. He cuts it off and says, wait. At Halloween Havoc, I'm going to get the last laugh, brother. And he leaves.
Pretty intense research here.
Nitro Girl segment.
Can we just get Stacy Keebler already and just get it over with?
We had Amy.
What in the fuck are we waiting for here? Is this an angle or is this real?
I think
I'm pretty sure they're real.
Jesus,
Nitro
God
Girl.
almighty, this is horrible television.
We had Amy and her whacked out eyebrows from Birmingham.
worst.
And Tiffany, who I thought was pretty cute, from Biloxi. And she likes Junkyard Dog and Teddy DiBiase. She's a Bill Watson guy. Bill Watson lady.
I could not care what any of them look like. I'm over these segments. They've got to end. You hear me?
David walks in on Tori wiping something off Billy Kidman's face and he's upset.
No, hold on a second. Fuck, Vinny. I knew you were going to do this. David walks into the room. How do you miss this? David walks into the room and Kidman is putting his pants back on.
That is true. That is true.
Okay.
I'm a slow typer, dude. I got a lot going on.
He is putting his pants back on.
Because they were off.
And David is worried about what's on his face?
Well, that's what happened.
How about the fact that he was in the room with your woman with his fucking pants off?
Maybe they read the script wrong.
Who gives a shit what's on his fucking face? Get out of here, Craig.
Maybe he's just a nudist. He's naked all the time back
Tells him to go talk to his dad. She's busy.
Yeah, she totally blew him off.
This idiot is not getting the hint.
No. He would not get it later either. Knobs versus Stevie Ray in a street fight. So,
Hey, listen. Listen.
go ahead.
This was a hilarious mess.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was.
It was fucking bad, but it was funny. I laughed. It was awful. But it was funny awful. This is the kind of stuff I want out of WCW.
So,
Don't just bore me. Entertain me with how bad you are.
between the two guys in the match, that's fair. Between the two guys in the match and Booker T and Hugh Morris and Jimmy Hart, there's 5 dudes out there running around whacking each other with weapons. In the middle of all this, it becomes very important that Hugh Morris trip Stevie Ray.
Fuck.
So Brian Knobbs is on his hands and knees. And Stevie Ray goes to pick him up and grab him by the head, but then he just freezes. And nothing happens for a while. And it's just like, what's wrong with Stevie Ray? At this point, Brian Knobbs screams at the top of his lungs, Hugh! Hugh Morris! Hugh! Hugh! Hugh Morris! He had to clarify. There was some other Hugh who wasn't listening.
Well, maybe he was concerned that someone would think he was yelling, you.
And eventually,
Or maybe he thought they were yelling that something was humorous.
I thought he was actually yelling you. I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on. I realized he's trying to get Hugh in a position for the spot. And the spot is, Hugh's at ringside, Stevie hits the ropes, Hugh grabs his feet, Stevie kicks him or something. Or Booker T hits Hugh or whatever. It was not important at all.
All I know is, why do we have to distract and or bump the ref in a street fight?
I don't have an answer.
Like, we got to make sure the ref doesn't see something that's happening legally because it's a street fight and you can do anything you want. God, I hate this show sometimes. But this was still funny.
Brian Knobbs coming off the second rope with a trash can, and everybody moves, so he lands on the trash can and compacts it. That was funny.
Knobbs wins after Jimmy Hart hits Stevie with a trash can. Shane Douglas calls out Revolution.
Okay, I'll admit the first thing I wrote here was, this storyline is awful. Okay? But at least they were wrapping it up here.
I guess.
Shane, first off, Shane comes out and he says, it's time for the Revolution to come out and air their dirty
They
laundry.
didn't wrap it up here. They had a match later.
Would you shut up and listen? Shane says it's time for the Revolution to come out and air their dirty laundry. They're playing their fucking music when they come out, and they won't shut the music off. So Shane is screaming into the mic at the top of his lungs to try and talk over the music. So Dean starts screaming at Shane. Shane starts yelling at Benoit. Shane's big. He's so upset that Benoit had the temerity to ride to the building with Bret Hart. If you can't ride with us, Why are you part of the revolution? We must engage in transportation together in order for this unit to work. Benoit says, fuck you. He takes his shirt off and he leaves. They're done. He's out.
Foreshadowing his actual departure from the company.
He's out. So, they're all screaming at each other. The two remaining members, because we're already out of member, Vinny, because it's wrapping up here on the show. Two remaining members walk out on Douglas as well. One guy's already out, Chris Benoit. He's washed his hands of this shitty fucking unit that did nothing for them.
Did you mention that Shane was mad at Dean because Kidman ran in, which meant Saturn won by DQ instead of getting a pin?
Yeah. Hey, you know, you gotta get that W, Vinny. You gotta get that P.
It's Dean's fault. Kidman ran in.
Well, who knows? He's a heel. He's not looking at things rationally.
Parka versus Brad Armstrong.
What a fucking bizarre match.
I'll say that again. La Parka versus Brad Armstrong.
La Parka, the current day LA Park, against Brad Armstrong. And they just had a match.
He's had a match.
His walkout gear was awesome.
La Parka went to a Guar concert, got some extra gear, put that on. So, the answer's like, what's that on his trunks? And I look up, and La Parka on his trunks has Solo Para Timbonis. So I went to Google Translate. Only for Timbones.
Huh?
That's what it said.
Okay.
Made me laugh. So Brad's like down selling, but he's not flat on his back. He's on his side. And La Parka does a moonsault that comes down on his legs.
Oh, gosh.
I was certain there was a broken leg here. It was so bad. There wasn't. Armstrong continued.
Timbonis?
Timbonas.
Oh, T-I-M. Okay, keep going.
Ryan's investigating.
There's a ref bump. The wall beats up La Parka. Brad beats up Berlin twice, but turns his back and still gets laid out with a neck breaker. He ends up on top of La Parka. The ref counts 3 as Berlin is standing in the middle of the ring and posing. This sucked!
That doesn't fucking help me. Timbonis. Plural and feminine of Timbone.
Timbones.
What did it say in his tights?
Solo Para Timbonis.
Okay, well, Timbones would be the plural of Timbone, which would be fat-bellied.
Okay. Only for fat bellies.
Yeah.
He's not lean.
Maybe he's a chubby chaser.
He's bones.
He has bones. It's true.
Yeah. He's looking for some meat to put on them bones.
Aren't we all?
He's looking for some meat to put on them bones.
I understand this one, Brian.
Thank you.
Your message is getting through.
Thank you.
Kurt Hennig is hitting on Tori Wilson backstage. David Flair tries to interrupt. Kurt has the best response ever. Hey, Flair, buzz off!
It was even better before where he's trying to hit on Tori, and you just walk into the conversation where he says, you know, I have 2 CDs.
He said that too. He says, hey, Flair, buzz off. Don't peek over my back fence. I'm doing business here. I laughed, and I laughed, and I laughed.
Because Kurt Hennig is awesome.
He was so awesome here.
Oh, by the way, I was so busy looking up Timbones that I didn't really get a chance to talk about the finish of the La Parka match.
We did.
So, are you telling me that Berlin hit Armstrong, who he's feuding with a reverse neckbreaker? Armstrong then fell on La Parka and won.
That's what happened.
You're telling me that happened?
Yes.
Okay, so how in the fuck is Berlin supposed to get any heat if his interference led to his rival winning? I fucking hate interference finishes like this. But like, make it make sense. Why the fuck would I care about watching them wrestle now? He beat him up and helped him win. So dumb. This is almost as bad as the Bulldog finish, but not even close.
So, back to Hennig and Tori and David. Tori repeatedly made it explicitly clear here she did not want David around and wanted him to leave.
Look at her.
Well, no, but the point is, David wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
So when Kurt
Look at her.
When Kurt
This is David Flair we're talking about.
when Kurt beat him up, it was deserved.
She could
Kurt Hennig was
see her.
run over him with a car, and he'd be trying to get back with her.
She fed the stray dog.
I get it.
Yeah.
I've been a stray dog at times before, but anyway, yeah. David had this beating coming. Kurt Hennig did the right thing. Berlin versus Norman Smiley. Norman had a great comeback here.
He actually did a very good comeback. He wiggled his Johnson.
He did.
Fans were into it.
And it worked.
Yeah.
People love the big wiggle. So, you threw me off my game.
Vinny's on medication.
I threw you off your game.
I have no game.
You
By the way,
said it.
Norman Smiley from Great Britain, Berlin, Germany, crowd chants USA.
He's from Great Britain, and found fame in Mexico.
That's right.
He's from Mexico City.
That's right.
So Berlin hits a jumping knee. That was not anything Kenny
And they
Omega
chanted
was proud
USA
of.
because they wanted this match to be over.
Berlin won with a neck breaker.
Maybe that was Russo chanting it. Because this was the week that he did a famous interview about how I'm an American. I don't want to see Mexicans. I don't want to see Japanese guys. I want to see Americans.
Gene interviews Flair. Flair runs down Hennig.
He runs down Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig. Oops.
You call him that?
Yeah.
Oops. He ran down DDP, who has a match with the pay-per-view with, and then he mentioned, isn't DDP married to Kimberly?
Gene knew that he had to answer the question. But he didn't want to have to answer the question.
That's right.
And so when he says, isn't DDP married to Kimberly? Gene's response was, yes. Because he knew where this was going.
And so Flair offered to either fuck and or pile drive Kimberly. He
Or
just said,
both.
Or
Would
both.
be my guess, looking at his body language.
He said, I'm going to give her one of these. I went, ugh.
You get that, Rob?
Over and over again.
Okay.
Over and over again, that's what he did.
He was out of his mind.
He's a tap
Completely, totally out of his mind in this promo. Sweating like crazy.
Saturn and Malenko versus Kidman and Ray in the fucking Revolution.
Vinny, I really like this match.
Fuck you.
I thought it was a very, very good wrestling match. I will admit that Kidman is an absolute moron for taking an overhead belly-to-belly from Saturn over the top to the floor.
Yes.
Not even the padded mats. He landed on the ramp.
Yeah.
You dumb shit.
Like on a side, too,
I don't
think.
care what the guy's doing with Tori. That's a stupid fucking idea.
Yeah. So, Saturn and Malenko are not getting along. They're bickering. They're shouting at each other. They're shoving each other. They're breaking up their own pins. But you know what? They're still kicking Ray and Kidman's asses. Because Ray and Kidman are total fucking geeks.
Well, they're smaller men.
Pussies, then. Weaklings. They're just getting destroyed.
2018, you can't say that anymore.
They're getting destroyed by these men who can't even function. Everyone came off like a total loser in this match.
No one's a loser, Vinny. They're all winners.
Crowd liked it more than I did. So Shane nuts Kidman. He throws a chain to Saturn. Saturn hits Kidman with a chain. Saturn pins him. Fuck this.
Oh, man, I like this. I thought it was a good match. In fact, I wrote a great match, great story. Everybody was awesome. Douglas and Saturn are clearly heels. Malenko's a babyface who was appalled. He rips up his shirt.
Dipshit.
He quits the Revolution afterwards. He's out of here.
Finally. Only took him 3 weeks.
Yeah. There was a moment in this match, you were so busy just being blinded by your rage
Yes.
that you weren't doing your job and
That is
watching and
accurate.
analyzing the fucking match.
It's my job to be enraged.
Ray is down on the ground, and he's on, well, he's supposed to be on all fours. I don't know whose fault this was, but Saturn is going to give Ray an Oklahoma roll. He's going to jump over him to do the roll. Okay. When you do an Oklahoma roll, your opponent needs to be on their hands and knees.
Right.
Okay. Ray has one knee down, but he has his other leg extended straight out to the side.
Oh, God.
Fucking Saturn does this move. I was watching it and I went, oh my fucking God, you just destroyed his knee. And they go for the cover and Ray kicks out and seems fine. But if you watch the match, he's fucking grabbing at his knee from that point forward. That's probably one of the 9 million ways that he fucked up his knee, because it's always something stupid where you get hurt. A fucking Oklahoma roll blew out Ray's knee here. Go back and watch it. It's brutal when you see it.
Sid Vicious versus Van Hammer.
Oh, you gonna bitch about the previous match?
Last week we had Sid Vicious versus Brian Adams. It's clear they're going through the bottom of the roster trying to find the worst possible Sid Vicious match. But you know what? They keep being okay.
Okay. It would have been okay if it had ended in 3 minutes. I think it went 19. It was way too long.
Fine.
When it was over, I had no interest in Sid versus Goldberg. It's how bad it was. It wasn't terrible, but it just... First off, I'm watching the match, and I just hear this weird noise in my house. And I'm like, who's here or what's fucking going on? I realize it's Sid breathing. I literally had to pause it, and the sound stopped.
Yes.
And then I turned it back on, and it was like, ugh. It's this weird caveman breathing that he does.
Yeah.
Fucking just, they wrestle. And then Hammer is like beating on Sid. And I'm like, why is Hammer beating on Sid? Then Rick fucking Steiner comes down. They have to double team Hammer to allow Sid, who is going to be facing Goldberg,
Yeah.
to get the win. So fuck you, this one sucked.
Fine. I accept that. If they need Rick Steiner out there so Brian Adams and Hammer can get powerbombed without Sid killing them, that's worth it. A recap of the Owen Hart tribute match. Play the 7 video.
Well, Brett was given last week off, but he thought it would slight the memory of his brother to not have a match in Kemp Arena. And they made history last week. They will do it again this week by teaming up together. I liked it.
So, 7's video is he's a ghost or something. And
He's a creeper.
He's
He's looking in the windows of children, Vinny.
Yes.
I mean a ghost.
Or a pedophile.
He's a creep.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch it. I thought of my daughter
He made eye contact with the
on the
child's
second
side.
floor, thankfully.
Their hands touched on the windows, and the little boy touched
Ah!
the camera, and his eyes were black. Now, but yeah, good idea, Brian.
Go ahead.
Can you see out the window on that thing?
No, but I need to listen. If I hear, we're all hitting that room. You understand? It's gonna be the new revolution.
Gonna scare that kid.
Me, you, Craig, and Rob.
Well, yell at each other?
Well, we do already.
Yeah, all right. Mostly you. So it's supposed to be scary as hell and creepy and disturbing. And
I can't see the window here.
as this
Blinds are closed.
child's face is peering into the camera with his black eyes, the West Texas Rednecks music plays.
Can you see how creepy that is? You ever use one of these?
No,
Yeah.
I have no baby.
You're always expecting to look into it and you like see a little elf run across the room. You know what I'm saying? Rob knows. Yes, Rob.
As long as she doesn't get up and start pointing at something random,
Ah!
fine.
I don't even want to hear it. They see things at that age, Vinny. Yeah, that we don't see.
I see.
Yeah, they say weird things too.
We see a lot of weird things.
I say weird things. You don't want to know, Vinny. You don't want to know.
Kind of do.
No, I don't know.
Ric Flair versus Kurt Hennig.
Imagine what your cats would say if they talked to you, Vinny.
Yeah, they say, fuck you, give me my fucking food.
They'd say some weird shit too, let me tell you.
They're cats, dude. They say horrible things.
If they could talk, they'd all be in therapy, wouldn't they?
Cats?
No, the fucking dogs. Your dogs would be in therapy, not my cats. Oh my
I'm
God.
talking about you, douche.
Excuse me. If you,
What are we talking about? What's happening?
Craig is trying to explain that if cats could talk, they'd be in therapy, but dogs are way more neurotic than cats. Am I wrong?
You're not getting this argument.
Don't even say yes. Get out of here, Vinny. Do you have a dog?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, they're more neurotic, aren't they?
They're more needy.
Okay, therapy. Go on, Vinny.
You are so smug.
No, I am not J.J. Dillon.
So Ric Flair and Kurt Hennig had a match. Neither of them cared.
Hey, it was pretty good.
Well, it's Kurt Hennig and Ric Flair, so it's going to be good even at 40%.
Although this was the other match this evening where Kurt Hennig is trying to pin Ric Flair. He's got his feet on the fucking top rope.
Much like Matt Hardy.
Literally, no, Matt Hardy was at least on the middle rope.
No, it was on the top rope.
Well, he's on the fucking top rope. Not only is he doing a handstand to try to pin Ric Flair, Curly Bill is on the apron holding his legs on the top rope.
Yeah.
This motherfucking referee doesn't even see it.
Yeah.
I can't believe it wasn't Nick Patrick. I literally could not believe it wasn't Patrick.
Maybe he was in disguise.
That was definitely, it was that other guy.
So David Flair runs out, yanks Curly Bill off the apron. Hennig is distracted. Flair wins with the schoolboy, and of course he holds the tights too. Did we mention that at one point in this match, Ric Flair hit Kurt Hennig in the balls, and Hennig sold it by doing a moonwalk?
He did.
That happened.
It was impressive.
Yes. Recap of Lex hitting Brett with a baseball bat. This led to the total package of Rick Steiner versus Bret Hart and Chris Benoit.
What the hell happened to the return of Scott Steiner? He turned a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he cut a promo and he's gone again.
And we never saw him again.
So, I looked down on the screen. I could see there's very little time left in the show. And we had a technical difficulties disclaimer when the show started. It aired again here. I thought, oh, clearly they've lost 5 minutes in the main event.
No, Vinny. There was one tiny audio and one tiny visual glitch.
10 seconds of...
And so as a result, on the bottom of the screen is the following words, which are in all caps, okay? I'm going to read the entire thing that's written on the screen here during these glitches, all right? Presented in the most complete form possible due to original production technical difficulties. Do you know how much of the screen this took up? This was so much more intrusive than the actual issues that I wouldn't even have fucking noticed had they not had that giant crawler. I couldn't even watch half this match.
If they hadn't thrown that up, I just would have figured we had some kind of buffering problem.
And then,
Anyway,
I don't know if you noticed, but Chris Benoit put Rick Steiner in the crossface, and Bobby Heenan said, and I quote, "Rick Steiner will never quit." Because it was a shout out to Gorilla. That was Gorilla's favorite line. The babyface will never quit anytime they're put in a hold. He killed every hold that every heel had.
mostly the abdominal stretch, they did not use A-plus perfect technique and grapevine the leg behind their own.
It didn't matter. You could put any submission on a babyface, and Gorilla Monsoon would insist, hey, you'll never quit. Never quit.
Anyway, Sid attacked with a DQ in 4 minutes. Goldberg makes a save. Speared. He was a spear Rick Steiner, who of course is a big, strong, tough, dangerous man. And Rick says, I'm going to make this look as violent as possible just by launching myself straight up into the air. So Goldberg charges. Rick jumps up. Goldberg spears him out of midair, just sends them both catapulting across the ring. It was awesome.
DDT's himself on the head.
He did.
Actually, that was in the last match. Never mind.
So Sid gets a mic. He's taunting Goldberg. You can't put your hands on me. You can't do nothing. This, that, this. And Goldberg says, fuck it, and spears him.
That was awesome.
It was great.
It actually was completely awesome because they've done this for several weeks now. Sid's taunting him here, he's taunting him there. If Goldberg touches him, he forfeits his title opportunity.
Yes.
Finally, Sid is standing right in front of him with that stupid mic, cutting a stupid promo. And Goldberg turns to leave, and then he just says, fuck it. He spears this fucking guy, and Sid was Frankenstein that got shut down. Like, they brought him back to life with electricity, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever happened
Batteries ran out.
to turn him off. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Sid's just laying there in dead man's position. I thought that Goldberg was going to, jackhammer him. But Sid's so dead that Goldberg goes down like he's going to get him, and he just stops and goes and poses on the rope, and the show goes off the air. And, of course, there's a cliffhanger now.
Yes.
Is he going to get his title match?
This was not the go-home show.
No.
At the time, I thought it was. I realized I was mistaken.
Yes.
This makes more sense with at least one more week to go, because now next week is, can Goldberg get his match back?
No, next week is Russo shows up, and everything just goes in a disarray.
Jeez. He started.
Whatever you enjoyed here, you're never going to find out where it was going to go, if I recall correctly. You won't, because they have that tournament.
That tournament coming up, yeah.
That fucking tournament. Oh, my God.
So he comes in, he scraps everything, and he just starts over.
Yes. I believe he strips everybody of all the titles.
Wow.
I don't actually
A few
remember
times.
exactly what it was, but, that was one of his things that he liked to do was, let's just start all over again with everything. And I know we have a tournament for the world title, so clearly they're not doing this one. I know Medusa's in it twice. I remember that. There's 32 men. They're all a minute long, these tournament matches. Yeah.
Brian, do you have my music ready?
Aye.
So dramatic.
The finishes on this show were City DQ and a great opener. Clean pin, clean submission, clean pin. Pin after shenanigans in a street fight. Pin after interference against both dudes with a third man standing in the ring. Clean pin. after chain shot by 3 dudes who all hate each other. Pin after interference. Pin after interference. DQ after interference.
That's it, baby. So yeah, that's the Raw Nitro show. Next week it all changes. Russo shows up on Nitro, and he's long gone from WWE. And I seem to recall that WWE still sucks for a while, but then it starts to turn around.
Oh, there's no evidence that it is not.
Yeah, like in the winter months turns around. So anyway, that's it, everybody. Check out video.f4wonline.com. We got